This time with Dylan.
Hello.
It's been a while.
Yes.
It's funny, how come I always have to respond to your text, but you never respond to mine?
I respond to yours.
You do not. I've sent you so many baseball texts in the past.
Yeah, and they're all like all about the
Crickets.
Mets, or you're upset that we got what's his face that's gonna even with Rendon. It's like okay, cool. The Angels got Rendon. Great. Who's gonna pitch for us?
You, you've got one of the best managers.
No, we don't.
Yes,
You
you
saw those.
do.
You saw those playoff games. We're,
How do you not know? How do you not? You are such. If you don't want him, fine. 'Cause that
I
was my
didn't
wish
honestly.
list. That was my wish list. Hello, everyone. Welcome. We're so Dylan, set things up. We have a few people watching. What are we doing here tonight?
All right, so some of you probably have seen this before. This is a website tier maker. People have most people don't make them. They just like find like tier things, and they just like take and move people around, like kind of like a tier list. So like there's S tier, which is like best of the best, A tier, which is pretty good, but and so on and so on. And people do them for a lot of different things. So I thought it'd be fun if I made my own tier list because I couldn't find one that had this of all the Star Wars expanded universe novel authors, everyone who has written a at least one adult novel for the expanded universe, and rank them just to see yeah, how good they did in their exploits in the expanded universe. Um, this list, or the 48 people that I have, authors that I have here, I got from the um, Star Wars Wikipedia list of novel authors. That list does also include canon authors. There are I have not included in this tier list any authors that have written um, spec- um, only for canon. There are some authors in here that have written for canon, but they have also written for the expanded universe, and we are only taking into consideration their works in the expanded universe.
There you go. All right, so we're also gonna look at the help of other people here.
Yeah.
Hear your opinions too. Now, here's the problem with me. Some of these authors I've personally spoken with, and I love them, and I have this love of them, but yet their contributions to the EU weren't as grand as others. So I would want to rank them high. I'm going to have problems with this. I can already tell.
So I think
So
so.
we're going to take these people one at a time. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
one at a time.
All
We're
right.
gonna go. So I think a good ground rule is because some of these people, for example, where is he? Uh, John Jackson Miller. He's written or Kevin J. Anderson. They've written comics. They've written books as well. Uh, but because for the scope of this, I might do a tier list if I can find a list of all the comic authors that has like and just do everyone. Then we can go with their overall impact on the expanded universe. But because these are just the novel authors, I think it would only be fair to judge them just on the adult novels they have written, not other stuff in that.
Okay, so you're
And this
trying
is
to
to well
undercut
into
my Kevin J. Anderson, is what you're saying.
Kevin J. Anderson still has them.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead. Let's start with the first one. Let's go from here. I'm
All right.
interested. I've never done this before.
You never done this. Okay.
I've never done this, so I'm interested. Let's do it.
So first one we got here is Aaron Alston.
Okay.
Now,
Go ahead.
kind of my thoughts on this, like like S tier is like the best of the best. You can't just have like one novel or one trilogy to get into S tier. You gotta like you gotta have like multiple things, multiple series, multiple eras that are all fantastic. And I think Aaron Alston fits that bill perfectly.
I'm going to agree with that. I think his books are very solid. Um, if I had to pick the weakest one, maybe Mercy Kill, but even I enjoyed that. So
And Mercy Kill is only weak because it's only good if you've read the other X-Wing books, which
weak is not a good word for it,
oh
but
yeah.
you know what I mean.
Well yeah.
But
And that's
yeah,
like That's, I guess it's kind of a fair criticism, but what do you expect from the 10th book of a series that it's only good if you've read the other nine?
I completely agree. Yeah, that I know it's an unfair judgment, but anyway,
All right.
so
So
I
Aaron
think we're going
Alston.
with Aaron Alston. I have a feeling that that top row is going to be filled by the end of this, but keep going. So
All
Aaron
right.
Alston is there. Who's next?
Alan Dean Foster, author of the original novelization,
Yeah.
uh, The Approaching Storm, I believe was him. Hold on. Uh, I have it up in another tab, so the list, so I can like quickly look up because
Uh,
some of these I don't know. Hold on.
the Approaching Storm was his other episode 2 prequel
And
book,
Splinter
right?
the Mind's Eye.
Well, Split the Mind's Eye, I really did enjoy more than Approaching Storm. He is the grandfather of the EU,
Hmm.
Ryan Splinter in the Mind's Eye. But, but, you have S.A. What are the letters again? I need to get my site
S
chart out
A
here.
B
S,
C.
B, C, D, and F.
So my thoughts
Okay,
for this, right? So
go
S
ahead.
tier is like creme de la creme. You've got to have multiple things. They've all got to be great. They've all got to like they've got to expand outside of like one little
Foster,
box.
it's safe to say Foster is not there.
A tier is you're really good. You also don't have any stinkers, or if you do, it's like maybe one, but you're kind of just in like your one. You have like your one thing you're good at, and that's it. And that's kind of like, you know, you don't really branch out as much.
I wouldn't put him in A either. Keep going.
B tier would be something like most of your stuff is good, but you got a few stinkers as well. But you have written you've written a bunch. You got some good, you got some bad. The good is either equal with the bad or like outweighs it just so. Uh, C, I think C, D, and F. Well, F tier I think is just like you got one novel and it's terrible.
Okay, and what's D?
D would
You
be
got a
like,
few and they're just forgettable.
yeah, they're like not bad, but they're like forgettable. C
So
is like you've got
you're
maybe
riding the
you've got,
fence.
yeah, you're kind of on, you're not like all bad. You've got a few. Maybe they're all mediocre or but like none are like real bad. And C, I guess, would be like you've got one really good novel or they're all just kind of, or like you've got one really good one and some bad one. Well, C and D is kind of going to be,
You've got one good one and the rest of them are okay.
yeah. And
C.
C?
I'd put C personally for Alan Dean Foster.
Okay.
Someone could argue he could be B, but I put C. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's it because I mean he's also got, so we're dealing with Splinter the Mind's Eye, The Approaching Storm, and the novelization of A New Hope.
Okay, and the listeners, the viewers can also tell us what they think too while we talk through these. All right, next.
All right, next is Anne Carroll Crispin.
I feel like we should be, it seems like one of these, slumber parties where we're talking about,
Yeah,
hot or not.
we need to get like more people in here.
This is
Where is
fun.
everyone?
This is fun. Well, I don't know where Brian is. I sent him an invite, but go ahead. This is fun. Keep going. Who's this next one?
Anne Carroll Crispin or AC Crispin.
Oh. Okay, here's the deal. She only wrote one trilogy, though.
Um,
So here's the thing with me. With me, I would put her at B, but I am fine putting her at A. But only she doesn't get S because she only wrote one trilogy. We never got to see, and that's not her fault. We never
she
got to
wrote
see
one
anything
trilogy
else.
and she wrote a couple short stories
Short
for
stories. She
Tales
did
of
do
the
some.
Jabba's Palace.
You're correct.
They
She did do
were
some
in a
short
novel
stories.
though. Oh, that's actually a good question. Are we going to count their contributions to, if they're short story contributions, but they were in one of the anthology
No,
novels
anything they've contributed to Star Wars as an author.
as an author of novels? So
I,
then her two short stories to Tales of the Jabba's Palace
she
would
was
count then.
contributor to that, so I would give her credit for that. All right.
If
So
that's the case, then I kind of agree with you on B tier.
I'm going to go with B tier. I don't hear anyone saying anything. The chat's very quiet.
Yeah, what do y'all think?
But I'm gonna say B tier That may anger some people, and they may say A, and you definitely have an argument there. But right now, she just went B. Go next.
This is a controversial one. Barbara Hambly.
You're gonna hate me.
I know I am.
You know I won't. You know I'm gonna rank her B.
Okay.
Pip says,
Children of the
Pip,
Jedi
hold on real quick. Pip says AC didn't really do anything for Star Wars. That is
is
going.
a hot take.
That is going to be very debatable, sir. A lot of people like it, but that's fine. So
She had stored stories in Tales of the Cantina and as well as Tales of Jabba's Palace.
I enjoy her short stories. I like Barbara Hamley, but if you want to put her C, what do you guys think about Barbara Hamley? I mean, C, I can tell. I think the majority of fans would put her in the C category. What would you think?
I kind of agree with C category. Chris, this is just the format of it. S, A, B, C, D, and F are just like how
Just letters.
Yeah, they're just letter. Think of them as letter grade, and like S is like on a test, and S is like 100%.
And S stands for sexy, which is why Aaron Alston is the only one up there right now.
For now.
Until we get to Christian Rush. Let's see. Catherine Rush. Let's see. What do you want to put her at? What would you say? I would say B, but you know me. What?
I would say D, because I did not like. I thought, okay, Barbara Hambly is the worst of the worst of the Bantam authors. I said it.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna see if Chris wants to come on. I'm kicking you off. Actually, Holocron Keeper Evan agrees with you. Barb gets a D. You people are awful. Shame on all of you. Shame.
Let's get Chris in here. Break up the tie.
Okay, no. Here's what I'm saying. I'm saying B. You're saying D. I'm saying we go C and split the difference. Will you give me that? You are cruel.
We'll do C for now, and then if people join and like
if Chris joins and he says D, I'll let you bump her down.
All right.
I am the minority when it comes to favorites and
yeah, because you like a.
Okay, real quick. Pip says if you're going with a Han Solo trilogy, you gotta go with Brian. Brian Daly. Brian Daly's trilogy, I agree, Pip, is fantastic. But I do enjoy A.C. Crispin's. I'm with you. I enjoy Brian Daly's more, but I cannot say that A.C. Crispin had a bad story. I thought she had an excellent story.
Yeah, I would. Well, I actually haven't read her trilogy yet, but I wouldn't disagree with that from what I've heard of it.
Okay, who's next?
All right, next might be someone that most of you aren't familiar with. Steve Barnes, author of The Cess's Deception and The Hive short story. That's it.
D.
D? Yeah, I'd agree with that.
D. I mean, he's not bad, but he's not memorable either.
Yeah, he had. I think that's perfect for D. He had one novel. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. Alrighty then.
Chris is coming in a few minutes, so he'll give his final say on Barbara Hamley.
Well, when Chris joins, he can dispute any of the who we.
And I'll say this: if he says B, we'll still allow C, since we did have another D in there. Okay, so who's next? Next
is Christy Golding, author of the middle books of the Fate of the Jedi series.
Are you ready? You know what I'm going to say. This is funny because we didn't have this ranker, but Dylan and I have talked 13 or 16 hours in a car before, and we almost had this exact discussion. We went through, do you remember, by the way, if we could have recorded our talks on the way from Indianapolis and back, we talked solid, I'm not making this up, we talked solid, the whole trip, EU. And it never got old, and we kept doing different. I mean, it was and it was the fastest trip ever. I mean, because we had so much to talk about. It was just incredible. It was a great trip. So what it's who we're saying again? Let everyone know.
Christy Golding, author of the middle books of the Fate of the Jedi series. The
Are
middle
you
books
ready?
being the second ones in like because it was 9-book series, but each one was technically like a trilogy. So she wrote the middle one in each like mini trilogy, I guess you could
People
call it.
can be. I feel people would put her at a C. I would put her at a D.
Ooh, you did not like her books.
It's not that I didn't like them. I just didn't think. We've talked about this in Fate of the Jedi. Isn't that the one that she takes every third book?
She takes the second book.
No. Legacy of the Force. She takes.
No. Legacy of the Force was Karen Travis.
Oh,
Christy
okay.
Golden was Fate of the Jedi. She
Fate of
took
the Jedi.
books 2, 5, and 8.
Yeah, but she took every third book, is what I'm saying.
No,
Oh,
second.
see,
Yeah, every second book, but the every third book, but the second in
Holocron Keeper Evan says D. I agree with him, but I'm gonna let Dylan. If Dylan wants to save her to a C, he can. Like I said, they're not bad, but they're not memorable. Okay, hold on. Now we're gonna get the real authority in here.
Hey.
All right.
Okay, real quick. Barbara Hamley, where's she ranked, Chris?
I'm still getting up to speed on the tiers, but I'd say
Okay.
fairly high. I'd say fairly high.
We have her at a C right now.
I'd go. It looks like it's SA.
wait.
B. I do B.
Okay, so he did B with me. So we have two right now. We have 2 B's and 2 D's on her.
We need a real tiebreaker now.
We do. So she's staying at C, I guess, for now. But I agree with Chris.
So Chris, re-going over the tiers, right? Kind of like my thought process.
Mhm.
S tier is like the creme de la creme. You have to have multiple books in multiple eras that are all good. Like you don't have a blemish on your record. A is you got multiple books as well. They're all real good, but you kind of only have like your one sandbox that you play, and you don't really branch out that much. But you're still
just shorter. You're short of perfection.
Yeah, you're short.
Just short. You're still good. You're still outstanding. B is you got a few good hits and some solid good hits in there. We put
But
AC
also,
Crispin in
maybe
B.
like one or two like not good hit, like kind of stinkers, but the good outweighs the bad.
And the C is you have some memorable stuff. It's not the best, but it's memorable. Right now we have Barbara Hamley in there, and we have Alan Dean Foster. And then in D, meaning it's not bad, but it's not memorable, we have Stephen Barnes.
Author of The Cess's Deception.
Oh, sure. That makes sense.
It's not that it's bad, it's just not memorable.
And then F is like unreadable, borderline. You had like one shot and it was terrible, and like they never called you again.
I know who's going there for me. Okay, so who are we talking about? We're talking about Christy Golden. I say D, but someone can save her to a C if they want to. It's not that her stuff's bad. I just don't find it memorable. I felt that I felt that the Legacy of Force books kind of
Fate of the Jedi, not Legacy of the Force.
Fate of the Jedi. Excuse me. Thank you. I felt like they kind of just fell a little bit flat, but it's kind of unfair when you have 2 great authors that just know how to write. I'm not really I am bashing Christy Golden.
She had Ascension, Vortex, and Abyss.
Abyss great.
Was the one that introduced the Lost Tribe, and the Lost Tribe was kind of her baby throughout the series.
I thought the Lost Tribe was John Jackson Miller's baby, and she picked it up.
Were they? What came first, her or? I don't know.
I thought John Jackson Miller gave that storyline with Lost Tribe of the Sith.
I just didn't think Lost Tribe of the Sith came up before Fate of the Jedi.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't remember either. That's a great question. I kind of thought it was Christie's thing.
Okay, I could be wrong. I definitely could be wrong about that. So, all right, so folks,
I would agree with you that she's definitely, of the 3, she is definitely the weakest, but that's also because the other 2 are Aaron Olson and Troy Denning. So C or D, I think, is where we're at.
All right. Do anyone in the comments want to say anything about Christy Golden, C or D? Chris, what do you say?
I think you have to say C just because I think you're biased, Matt. I think in fairness, let's give her an anti-bias point. Let's push her up.
I'm fine. I'm fine with that.
I agree with C as well.
Put her
Hamley, which is the only
Go ahead.
I think I just have to say, I mean, it's weird. She's forgotten. She hasn't been around in forever, but what she was doing
now.
was like really important at the time. And it's really important to remember that, like, when I'm thinking particularly of Callista, like that was the Lucasfilm plan. That was the plan to make, Callista the
Luke's.
So in other words, I don't know if this is about, I don't know if people's views about her are just about like, they just don't like the other stories or they don't like her writing, but what she contributed to Star Wars was at the time, like the cutting edge. Like, I mean, she was, expanding the lore. So it's just important to remember. So I want people, sticking up for good old Handley there. So.
Yeah, I think we have it right. It's CD, but we're kind of like, it's just
Like
more of a personal preference.
Chris, I was fair. I said I would put her D, but I know people would put her C. Now, if she's C, I kind of feel like Barbara Hamley is on a level of a B, better than Christy Golden, but we're going to leave her at C for now, Dylan.
Until someone breaks the tie. Next one, the Brian Daly. We were just talking about him.
Man, even though he only did one series.
And that's the only thing I'll say one more thing and I'll shut up about the tiers, but I think it's kind of unfair with the A being someone who got to play in multiple sandboxes. It's like, that's what.
Well, no. S is people who had multiple sandboxes.
I mean, S. No, but I sort of wonder, like, why is that the case? Like, so it's almost like it's like apples and oranges, right? It's almost not fair.
I think, like, so A is like, again, like real good.
Let me ask you this, Dylan. Can we eliminate S and make it A? Is that what you're asking, Chris?
Well, no, I'm just wondering. It seems like the criterion for S is categorically different than the criterion for the others, where it's like some people are just by definition not able to be there, and that doesn't make sense. So it's like Brian Daly, in my view, is clearly one of the best. I don't know why he wouldn't be an S if S is the top. Maybe S isn't the top and it's something different.
I think total contributions would mark him to an A. Which is unfair to judge someone from that way. I from that perspective, but in this is Dylan's world right now.
Okay,
we're all just living in it.
If you guys,
Pip, I can't repeat that, but A.
That. I mean, by those definitions, absolutely. Yeah.
Son of Luke says high B, which is nice, but it's short of A. Pip says S. Oh no, he says S. He says FA. Sorry. I know. I love Brian Daly too, but looking at Dylan's rules, I would say A.
Again, because the difference between S and A is A is pretty good, but S is like above and beyond. And
I just don't understand the part of S that's like that. Like by definition, someone who only got invited once, like they can't be in it, even if they wrote the best book. It seems like part of S is like someone who had this like multifaceted.
I think it's the Brian Gitzel. I think it's more of the. It's more It's not. Again, it isn't. You're right in that it's not technically fair to contribute to go with people's contributions to it, because some people just didn't get as many at bats as other people, so to say. But S is like on all these tier lists, because this is tier lists are done for like different reasons. So in this one, I felt that S was like only George Lucas is S. S is like, not only did you get multiple chances up to bat, because a lot of people did get multiple chances up to bat, but you like never struck out.
Okay, fair. No, that makes sense. Okay,
that's kind of the difference.
Right. Like, so can we put Brian Daly as an A?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay.
All right, I've got to remember what this guy did.
Oh my gosh, just give me his name, I'll tell you.
Dan Gregg.
Who? He did a New Jedi Order book, right? Oh no, that was Greg Keyes. That was Craig Keyes.
Where is he?
Craig Keyes did Edge of Victory. That's not him though. Sorry.
Dan Craig, author of Jedi Trial, and that's it.
Ooh. Well, he's definitely a D.
He should be where Stephen Barnes is, right?
Yeah, D. Yeah. Put him D. Yeah.
The D's are easy. All right.
Next.
So this one is a weird one. So this is Daniel Abraham, who is one of the two people behind the pen name James S.A. Corey. I could not find an image for the other half of James S.A. Corey. So I think it's only fair because they did technically only write one book to consider the two of them together with that. Or
What he write again?
The Leia one, right? No, that was Martha Wells.
No, he didn't do Razor's Edge.
no, he did Honor Among Thieves.
The other one, yeah, the Han one.
I could not. James S.A. Corey is the pen name of Daniel Abraham and Ty
Right.
Frank.
Got
I don't
it.
have
Got it.
Ty Frank's image. So
I kind of want it. This is where we get weird because I actually enjoyed Honor Among Thieves. I thought Scarlet was a good character.
well, someone can have only.
I would give him a
again,
C.
Yeah, that's. I mean, if someone only had one chance, but it was like real good, then C
I thought it was pretty decent. Chris, what'd you think about Honor Among Thieves?
Yeah, it's funny. I'm ranking them against the two we've put into D, and I'd say that makes sense to me.
So he's in the C.
Yeah.
Go for it.
All right. Pen name Dave Wolverton. We all know his real name, but
Yeah.
A.
Yeah.
I love
Really?
Courtship of Princess Leia, and I love Dave. This is where I told you this is where it gets weird for me because David Farland is honestly one of my favorite authors to talk to. Every time I've spoken to him, he's been unbelievable. Dylan, you weren't with me when I talked to him last time, were you? Where were you? Jeremy was
probably on
with
the
me.
floor. Well, he also wrote,
Jeremy was actually awake and conscious at that time. It was like the one time Jeremy was awake.
he wrote
when we
Tailback, The Tale of Danger, of the Sand Tender,
he wrote some short
Hammerhead's
stories.
Tale, A Free Corn in the Palace, and Tessik's Tale for the Tales of Mos Eisley, Tales from Jabba's Palace, and Tales from Bounty Hunter, respectively.
Now, I want to hear, Son of Luke says, I love Courtship so much. I want to hear from everyone here in the chat because I have a feeling people would put him as a B, maybe even a C, but I think they're wrong. The thing is, I probably would put him as a B if I had not talked to the man so much. So this is where it blurs the line for me. Because I put him in an A because I know the guy and I think he's fantastic. I think his stuff is good too. I think Courtship's
Really,
solid.
Pip, a C?
But I think a lot of people would agree with Pip on that. I think C is a ranking that a lot of fans would do. And if I never spoke to Dave Wolverton, I think I would be inclined to give a B.
I think he deserves at least a B because not only was Courtship good, but he also had a lot of in the tales of the.
Remember, and I know you're not counting this, but he kicked off the Jedi Apprentice books, and the first book was good. It's solid. We all give credit to Jude Watson, which we should, but Dave Wolverton kicked that series off, and he did a fantastic job. I know you don't want to talk about children's books, but he did great.
No big favorites.
Holocron Keeper Evan, that's why Dylan and Chris are on here because you're right. I put him as an A because I actually know the author and I think he's fantastic. But I think a B is a fair ranking.
I think that's fair. I'll reveal my bias, which is that I'm pro Bantam. I'm just pro almost anything Bantam. So for me,
so what are you saying?
I mean, I would say an A, but I'm revealing my bias.
Oh, there's two A's.
I'm happy with the B compromise, though. I think that's fair.
Have you spoken to David Farland before?
I never have. It'd be great.
Chris, it's one of the best experiences you'll ever. I'm being serious.
Right. So Pip thinks B.
As you know, he's not my favorite Star Wars author, but
A.
he's just fantastic to talk to.
So we've got 2 B's and 3 A's, counting the chat. So that in my mind, I think that puts him in A.
Yes.
All right. What did this guy do?
Barbara Hamlin.
David Sherman.
Who's next?
David Sherman, author of Jedi Trial.
I thought we already did this. D.
No, that's David Sherman and Dan Gregg. Yeah, they both co-wrote it.
D.
So yeah, D.
Well, then he goes with D. That's easy. Next.
Donald F. Glunt.
Oh, the novelization, right?
Which one?
Donald Glutt, right?
For Return of the Jedi or
Empire Strikes Back novelization.
Empire Strikes Back novelization. I hate to put someone as an F. I don't know if he deserves an F, but it didn't. those books back then, a novelization of a movie didn't serve that much. So it wasn't, besides deleted scenes that he wrote in,
I
he really
definitely think
didn't. I think he just turned it in, got his paycheck. I'm not saying the book's bad. I'm just saying nowadays you write a novelization to a movie a lot better than you did back then.
Yeah, back then it was just a media tie-in. That was it.
Yeah.
Right?
I think D is fair because D would put him under Alan Dean Foster, who did have other books, Approaching Storm and Splinter the Mind's Eye.
I know, but I'm okay with if someone wants to put him as an F.
Do you think he's that bad?
Well, no, I don't think it's bad. I think he just melded in, got his check. And like I said, the novelization is not bad, but it's a straightforward novelization. Yeah, I mean, they write about the deleted scenes in there. But Chris, what do you think? D or F?
You know what? Strategically, I think D is interesting because it reserves F for the
really
crap.
bad.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
All right, D. Next.
He's forgettable, but not unfortunately.
That's fine.
Greg Bear, author of, I believe, Rogue Planet, and that was it.
Can't remember anything else.
I'm going to.
Rogue Planet.
Yeah.
This is hard for me, but seeing who's in C, he's got to go to D.
Really?
Yeah, seeing who's in C, I would put those C authors above him. If you want to see who's in C right now, so far we have Alan Dean Foster, we have Christy Golden. I can't see the other names. Dylan.
Barbara Hambly and James S.A. and the duo of James S.A. Corey.
I think that makes sense, Matt.
You think? Wow, you guys really don't like Greg Bear. Rogue Planet.
I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying, looking at where we've ranked the other authors.
This is what ranked choice voting forces us to do.
Yes, you're forcing our hand here.
All right, I guess unless Chat disagrees, he goes into D.
All right, do it.
All right, next on the docket, Greg Keyes.
Oh, he's the one that did that one News Your Order book, Edge of Victory.
I believe so. Yeah, he did. He did The Edge of Victory, Duology, The Final Prophecy, both for New Jedi Order, and The Embassy of the Void short story. Well, that's not in a book, so.
A lot of people agree with Bear as a D. Good. I'm sorry.
So he did The Embassy of the Void short story, but that I don't think was a book. Was in a book. He also did The Edge of Victory duology and the Final Prophecy of New Jedi Order. So he has 3 New Jedi Order books under his belt.
I'm fine giving him a C.
Yeah.
Okay, I did enjoy those books. Edge of Victory more than Final Prophecy, but.
All right, this next one is gonna hurt. William Hayden Blackman. He has one novel under his belt, and that is the Star Wars Galaxies book, the
No.
Ruins of Dantooine.
No, that's not him. No, he did.
No, he didn't do Ruins of Dantooine.
He did the Force Unleashed comics, right?
He did those as well, but Galaxies Ruined Dantooine with Veronica Whitney Robinson.
Say it again.
He co-wrote it with Veronica William Robinson. Yeah.
Is he on the cover? Is he actually?
Does anyone?
I don't know. I think that is a comic book author. I agree with Chris.
Yeah, I don't think that's right. I'm looking this up. I don't have it in front of me. I'm looking it
Chat,
up.
what do you think? Should Hayden Blackman even be in this list?
Dude, Dylan, that's fascinating. Wikipedia says that, but he's not on the cover. That's so weird. I've never seen it.
No, it says Veronica Whitney Robinson with Hayden Blackman.
Yeah, but he's not. But if you have the book,
He's not giving credit.
That's so weird. I've never heard that before. Whoa.
Is he in the back?
No idea. I wish I had it. Matt, do you have it out?
Oh, no, yeah, I have it. Yeah. Force Unleashed?
No. The Ruins.
Which one? I'm sorry?
Ruins.
Star Wars Galaxies Ruins of Dantooine.
Holy crap. All right, hold on. He's not giving credit on that book. Almost positive. No, with Hayden Blackman.
What? I've not. How has that been completely blacked out of my mind? Well, I know Veronica is.
Well, for someone who just reviewed it and talked about Veronica Whitney Robinson, I didn't even mention Hayden Blackman.
That's so weird. That's
How did
bizarre.
I miss that?
This is the Mandela effect at its best. I don't think he originally wrote it. I think this is
with Hayden Black. Yep.
Give him a
Hayden,
D because we all forget. We all never knew.
yeah.
I guess so.
Nothing against Hayden Blackman. I like his comic books.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is so unfair.
If this
I
was
really
comic books, he'd be BA status
Oh,
for
yeah,
me.
yeah.
So when I'm done with this, I give it a week, and I'll have to add all the comic book, and I'll have to add everything.
We'll do it again.
Yeah, we'll do it again. But this is just novels. All right.
Next crack
one.
me up, man.
James Caan.
Oh, that's the same as Glut.
Yeah, he's D.
yeah.
D. Go for it. He's Return of the Jedi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Next. Easy.
Kevin Wayne Jeter.
Say what?
A.W. Jeter.
Yeah, H.W. Jeter, who did the Bounty Hunter trilogy. I know where I'd put him, but I want to hear you guys.
These are another set of books I have not read.
Yeah. I'm torn. Again, I'm going to give anything Bantam a higher grade. So consequently, I would have put it C. So I might just be fair and say D. I'd say C, D bubble.
I want to know everyone right now in the chat because I agree with Chris. I kind of want to put him
Son of
C,
Luke says D.
but if I'm fine with D because unfortunately no one talks about these books.
You're totally right. Yeah.
It's so weird that no one talks about these books. They're not that bad, but no one talks about them. And it's just weird. In fact, Chris, we actually had a discussion about this.
Yeah.
You and me personally one time privately about this.
Yeah.
That it's just kind of wild. This is prior to me reviewing them. I think it was when I was getting ready to make the videos. I talked to you about it.
D or C.
It's one of those forgotten ones. We'll go with. Well, I see C and D. C and D.
I see two. I see D. I see two C's, and I see C or D twice.
You know what, Dylan? You're the coin flip. You can put them in either one. I'm fine with it.
I'm gonna put C.
I'm fine with it, just like Brian said. I mean, just like Chris said.
Ooh. Okay. Here's an interesting one. Next on the docket, Joe Schreiber.
Huh. Ooh.
Shadow Hunt, Mall Lockdown, Red Harvest, and Death Troopers.
I forgot about Mall Lockdown. I'll give him a B.
Oh, wow.
I quite enjoyed Lockdown as well, and I enjoyed Red Harvest more than a lot of people did. I know I'm the exception.
I thought Red Harvest was garbage, hot steaming garbage.
Well, B tier is that you had some good and you had some bad, but the good.
That's why
bad.
he's at B because most of his was good. Because I mean, to be honest, Death Troopers excellent. I also enjoyed Mall Lockdown. I didn't think I would enjoy it, and it surprised me.
It's surprising. It's surprisingly strong. I'd be fine with a B. Can I just say, side note, Red Harvest is one of the few Star Wars books that in foreign languages has an altogether different title, and I actually have the German version because it's got a better title. I think it's just called Darth Scabrous, which is awesome.
Ooh,
which is maybe what they should have called it. I don't know.
Rob D says his own Red Death Troopers, so he would say B too. Well, Rob D, I'll tell you this. I think Darth Maul Lockdown is a great book. It really surprised me how good it was, and Red Harvest is just, oh man, Gungan Fighter Light Red Harvest. I'm sorry about your taste. I'm kidding. It's fine that people disagree with me. Have you read Red Harvest, Dylan?
I have. I liked it a lot better than most people did.
Wow. What about Sith High School did you like? Well, and that we had good Sith and bad Sith that we were supposed to care about when they're all evil and they could die anyway.
I liked it. So it introduced a concept that I wish the whole novel was about, where it takes you to a Sith academy where Sith doctrine is like, I'm only in it for me. Everyone else is an obstacle. It's just like me against the world, right? And it puts them in a zombie apocalypse situation where you have to work together to survive. And I thought that if it had just focused on that dichotomy of the Sith need to work together to survive, but their own nature forces them to be selfish, would have been great. And it had that for a few chapters, and then it.
Where have I read that concept before? Oh, the House of Slytherin. I don't know. Chris, what do you feel about Red Harvest? Am I coming down too hard? Gungan Fighter says absolutely I'm coming down too hard on it.
I don't think so. No, but no, I don't.
Well, either way, we all agree that Death
Okay,
Troopers
well, we're
and
saying
Lockdown
B.
were good. So yeah, B.
B. All right, go for it.
This is going to be a interesting one. John Jackson Miller. So we're only counting the novels. He's got Kenobi, Knight Errant, and Lost Tribe of the Sith, because that was turned into a novel.
C. Knight Errant is not good. It should be. It should be interesting. The actual storyline seems interesting, but the main character is so vanilla.
I'll tell you something controversial. This will get me kicked out of the chat. I think Kenobi is slowly becoming slightly overrated by EU fans.
Ooh.
Good, but I just think over time it's becoming mythic among EU. So I'd be happy with C, but it's difficult because I think his comic contributions are much stronger.
If we were talking comic books,
right,
he gets an A. He actually
really?
gets an
You would
A
give
for
him an
me.
A for
In
the
comic.
Knight Errant comic?
No, Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah, but he also did Knight Errant.
I don't care about that. I like Knights of the Old Republic. I think Knights of the Old Republic is solid. I think it's a solid series. So he gets an A if we're talking comic books. He gets a C if we're talking novels because he's got Obi-Wan, and that's the only real thing he's got going for him.
Yeah,
I'd put him in B, but y'all outvoted me. So.
Gungan Fighter says he's an S for him. That's amazing. That's amazing. And the thing is, people are going to disagree, and I am totally fine with that. I like hearing this.
Yeah.
So I wish you had a bigger voice, Gungan, but we're putting him in C. Go next.
Karen Miller, author of the Clone Wars novels.
Yeah.
Stealth Gambit and Wild Space.
Yeah. I dropped that. It seems to me like D is kind of becoming the Clone Wars multimedia project garbage bin, so I think that's fine.
D is fine. If it hadn't been for Wild Space, she would get a big fat F. Because I think Gambit and Stealth were a total waste of time. A complete waste of time.
All right, here comes the arguments. Karen Travis.
Oh, this is simple.
What
do you want me to say?
Okay, Republic Commando. She has the 5 Republic Commando novels.
Right.
She has the middle books 2, 5, and 8 for Legacy of the Force, and she also has
the Clone Wars.
No Prisoners. Clone Wars, No Prisoners.
Holocron Keeper Evan has given my vote already for me.
And the Clone Wars novels.
Yeah, exactly.
The Clone Wars novelization.
Right.
Son of Luke is being too kind. Oh, he's talking about Miller right now. Travis now.
Here's what I'd say. Because I know that the conventional wisdom in this group is pretty low. But let's be fair. Let's think about although she didn't. When you think about sort of like the breadth of her work, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's something that I think
she is solely responsible for the culture of Mandalore.
Yeah, I mean, I think,
and I think that is worth something because, as bad as, in my opinion, as bad as the decisions the characters made throughout the Republic Commando novels, the lore building that those novels did was phenomenal.
I think a majority of fans would put her in the A-B status. I don't think I'm in the majority of those fans.
That's probably fair.
I think B. Just because she is, because A is like universe, like A is like you're good, you're just not quite there. I think she has enough controversy and blemishes that she goes down to B, but she's
possibly. But you got to understand that Republic Commando series is you ask people for their top 5 books. It's there's a good chance that Republic Commando series is in there.
Right.
So are you saying A then?
No. I'm still saying F, but y'all go with B.
I think that makes sense, Dylan. Yeah, that's the sort of thing. I think you're right, Matt. Like if that weren't higher, this wouldn't have any credibility with many people, right? So.
Son of Luke, we're not doing anything for Matt's sake. For Matt's sake, they would put it at F if they love me, but they don't love me here. I'm completely biased on Karen Travis too. By the way, I get it, man. Brian, you need to check your email. All right, go.
Drew Karpyshyn. Darth Bane trilogy, Old Republic Revan.
I'd say A.
Yeah.
Oh, he also did Annihilation? Yeah, A.
Yeah, but Annihilation and Revan weren't as good as Darth Malgus is Deceived.
So I think Revan was the second best. I think the only one that was outright forgettable was Annihilation. Revan was above average, and Darth Bane was phenomenal. So that puts him in A.
Is Lucas on this list, by the way? Is Lucas on the long list?
Yeah, Gungan Fighter wants to know if Lucas is on the list.
I did not put George Lucas on.
I think it'd be fun to include him, not just for Splinters, but for like
to give someone an F. I know. I'm kidding.
We can include him on the full list because he does have credits every now and then. I actually didn't think of George Lucas, but we could do the full list. Also, someone in the comments of this video, if you can find a list of all like the comic and like short story authors as well, so I can add them to the list to this, so we can do the full one. Anyway,
Gungan Fighter loves the Revan novel. The Revan novel's fine. Yeah, I just think out of all the Old Republic books, I thought Deceived was the best.
That's interesting. Yeah, I love the Revan novel. Actually, I agree with
and that's fine. But so we're giving Drew an A.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm completely fine with that. All right, next.
Kathy Tyers, Truce of Bakura, and Balance Point, I believe. Yeah, New Jedi or Balance Point and Truce of Bakura.
I wouldn't go lower than a B.
And some short stories. She's a solid B.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
She's a solid B. To be honest, Balance Point is good for a lot of reasons I don't want to get into right now. But Balance Point is a good pivotal moment.
B tier.
So B tier, and Brian agrees with me.
Kevin J. Anderson. Oh, sorry. Before we get to Kevin J. Anderson, Brian, any addendums that you would put? Okay, break the Barbara Hambly tie. Is she B or C tier?
B.
All right, Barbara Hambly goes to B tier.
Yeah.
I honestly don't have opinions on a lot of these, but the ones I do, I will definitely let you know.
Yes. And Brian, we'll flip him the bird once I kill the stream. All right. That's awesome. All right, so
Kevin J. Anderson.
Oh boy.
Well, obviously, but I know no one's going to give him an S. So I would be okay with an A. If you guys go lower than an A, I'm gonna boot you all from this stream. I'm kidding.
I just got here, so
I think on the master. I think when we eventually do like the master of like all of the things they've done, I think he's definitely S tier. If you're just talking novels, A tier.
Fair.
Well, that's true because his comic books are those Tales of the Jedi stuff.
His comic books, his young adult
redemption
stuff.
is. He probably does deserve an S in the comic world. I think he deserves an S in the novel world, but I see everyone in the comments saying A. Chris?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah.
Screw you. Brian?
I think that's fair.
I hate you all. Okay, fine. Okay. No, I'm fine with that. That's fine. That's fair.
No, but again, you know what though? But
again, I'm super biased.
Dylan's rules though. I'm trying to remember.
Dylan's rules.
What did he do outside novel wise? What did he do outside of the Academy trilogy? Nothing.
He also did Darksaber.
Of course.
Shut the front. Darksaber. He helped edit all the Tales books.
And the Tales books as well. You know what?
He gave us a double. Yeah, Tales from Mos Eisley, Tales from Jabba's Palace, and Tales of the Bounty Hunters. He was really.
I'm saying S because you know what? Shame on me.
I forgot about the Tales books.
Those Tales books are my favorite thing from the Bantam era.
He was the one who edited that whole thing. Thank you. Thank you.
It's time. If
it wasn't for the Tales stuff, he'd be A. But yeah, you got me over on the Tales stuff.
Amen. I can't repeat you, brother, but amen. All
right. So we know how Matt's going to vote on this one, but Christine Catherine Rush.
And look, that's an updated picture of her. She's all gray-haired in that one.
Oh, but it's still sexy, Matt. Let's be honest.
No, I was going to say that. She still looks great.
She's a swilf. She's a Star Wars author. I'd like to,
Boy,
you know what? On one of those, A More Civilized Age, Matt. Remember, I talked about her a couple months ago. I think she's critically important. I put her where I would put Hambly for some of the same reasons. I think she's one book and one reference book, but I think she's super important. Sort of behind the scenes.
All right, so
I would agree B tier because I really did like New Rebellion.
I'm so happy you are saying B because I think a majority of people would put her as a C.
Right.
But I would put her as a B and a 10.
I'm just going to say B and leave it at that.
What did this guy do again? That's always a great sign when I'm like, who is this name?
No. Okay. So she got
B. Okay. L. Neil Smith.
Oh, S.
S tier for the Lando Calrissian.
Yeah.
To be fair, I have to say A, but I totally agree with Chris. L. Neil Smith wrote the Lando Calrissian trilogy, which is one of the most, if not the most, underrated trilogy of novels in the Star Wars expanded universe.
Yeah.
It is so stinking good.
Yeah, I mean,
it is so stinking good. However, we did give Brian Daley an A.
Yeah, he has to be where Daley is. And again, I would admit that that's all he did. Therefore, he can't do that.
So he has to be an A based on things, but I do love his novels.
And fun personal fact, I have his personal copies of that trilogy.
Dylan, you need an A+ tier.
Well, that's the A+ is S. We're fine.
Yeah.
No. There's an A+ tier between A and S.
Well, speaking of S tier, James Luceno.
There's a lot of A and S's for L. Neil Smith. Okay, but James Luceno, well, he's obviously an F. I'm totally kidding. I just want to see people blow up. Is he going in the S, gentlemen?
I think so.
I would say. See, I really didn't like Cloak of Deception, but I know I'm also in the minority on that.
That's what would put him as an A in my book. But at the same time, Darth Plagueis is so stinking good.
Plagueis, the Unifying Force, Agents of Chaos. I mean, he invented Vergere.
I mean, even the Dark Lord trilogy, his parts of it are
the Dark Lord trilogy.
And I mean, so Matt, you're saying that you think Cloak brings it down from an S, or
I think it could, and but I think an S is where you're going to put him, and I'm fine with that.
I'd push for that. Yeah.
S?
I think so.
But in my mind, S's don't have one so-so novel.
We got one A and one S in chat.
Anything that comes out from the S's, I love.
Who's in
James
it right
Luceno,
now?
Right now, just Stackpole and Anderson.
Alston and Anderson, sorry.
Excuse me. Wow.
Huh.
Alston and Anderson.
We all know he's going there, Matt.
The thing is, though, with James Luceno's Cloak of Deception, technically speaking, it put an A, but I am completely fine with S. And S's are what people are getting.
Yeah, 2 in chat say S, 1 says A.
Everyone's saying S, so yeah. I'm fine with that. I'm going by Dylan's example, ladies and gentlemen. And Cloak of Deception wasn't bad. It just wasn't. It wasn't a big hit.
Wasn't
like the rest of his novels were.
Well, how many other novels did he do?
Several, and they were all great, except for Cloak. I mean, Cloak of Deception is not bad.
It's not bad, though. Yeah, it's not.
It's not bad, but it's not the best.
It wasn't at the same level as the rest of the stuff.
I'll just say this: if Cloak of Deception's all he did, he would get a D, maybe a C.
Let's see: Agents of Chaos, Cloak of Deception, Unifying Force, Labyrinth of Evil.
No, it's great.
There's Dark Lord, Millennium Falcon, Plagueis.
Ooh, see, Millennium Falcon is not great. It's good. I'm fine. Let's keep him S. I'm going to talk myself into putting him A.
I can see the argument for an A, but yeah,
you're building an argument for an A, Dylan. When you said Millennium Falcon,
that's why I was asking for the.
I actually like Millennium Falcon.
Again, those aren't bad books, but I'm saying they're not. Are they anything like Plagueis and Unifying Force? I thought was solid.
I'm going to be very intrigued to know where he stacks up against Stover if he's on this list, because I think those two should be equal. But
Dylan, are you actually ranking them within the tiers too, or are you just putting them in the tiers?
I'm just putting them in the tiers.
Okay. I don't have that much time in the day. All right, go for it.
All right. What did she write?
Martha Wells.
Martha Wells, author of Razor's Edge, and that's it.
I'm sorry, but D.
Yeah.
D?
I mean, yeah.
It's a very forgettable story. It's not bad.
Okay.
All right, next.
Maya Catherine. How do you say that now? Last name?
Maya Catherine.
Vollenhorf.
What was that?
She did. She co-wrote Coruscant Nights. Book, the third book, Patterns of the Force, Coruscant Nights, Shadow Games, and The Last Jedi with Michael Reeves.
She co-wrote that stuff with Michael Reeves?
Yeah. Yes.
Really? Dang, because
she
I
was
don't know.
Uncredited in Coruscant Nights, Patterns of the Force, but she was in the other two.
I'd go pretty low on that, but
D again. I hate to say it.
I don't have strong feelings on that one, so I'd be fine with the D.
Don't worry at the fact that we don't have Fs. We still haven't gotten to Tim Levin yet.
But you know what? But honestly, like let's be honest. Like, I mean, F might be appropriate for her. I mean,
I would agree
by her co-author, but
yeah,
taking her. I mean, I don't. Yeah.
All right. Do we put her in the F?
I would say so. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay, great. Keep going. Jim Henson's look-alike next. Go for it.
Michael P. Kubel McDowell. Author
that's Michael P. Q. McDowell.
This is divisive, I think. Matt, I know where you're going to go, but you're going to go high. You're going to go high, I think.
Of course I'm going to go high. But you know what? I'm not going to go too high. I'll do B.
Yeah, I think that's okay.
Yep, that's about where I'd put him too, because I really liked the Black Fleet Crisis a lot more than
Black Fleet Crisis is very underrated.
Do we have every single? Do we have every single fan of Black Fleet Crisis in this?
Probably.
I think we have the 4 huge Black Fleet Crisis fans in here, so I think everyone else would put him a C. I
believe so. You're probably right on that.
But we are going B because this is my stream.
Paul S.
And by the way, Michael P. Q. McDowell is an awesome guy. One of the first authors I ever spoke to.
I'm trying to find all my Black Fleet Crisis promo stuff. Somewhere I've got it in this pile, but yeah.
And the covers look great too.
Yeah.
I mean, if Filoni were here, he'd put him as an A based on those covers alone. He likes them covers. Okay, go ahead. That's an old joke.
Yeah.
All right. This will be an interesting one. Paul S. Kemp, author of Cross Current, Riptide, and Old Republic Deceived.
Yeah.
I would say B because only one of those 3 books is actually good, but the one that is good is really good.
Well, to be honest, I would put him in the C category. I agree. I think Deceived is great. I've already talked about that. But I like Splinter of the Mind's Eye the same way I like Deceived. So that's what has my thinking is C, but I'm fine with either or. Chris?
I'm kind of biased here. I'm going to recuse myself. I'm happy with that, Matt. But
you're happy with what? C or B? I mean,
I'm on the B train. Matt's on the C train. Brian?
Tough call.
He does.
Yeah, I'm falling in between those two as well.
Gungan, we're not counting their contributions to new canon. There are some authors in here who have written for, but we're not factoring that in.
But it is. Pip is right. I've heard the guy's an a-hole.
Yeah.
I'm leaning.
But we're not going off character either. Even that's not true.
It's fair to say
Holocron Keeper Evan says, "I need to have Brian and Chris on my channel." Thanks a lot, Evan. Appreciate that. Appreciate the support. Keep going. Sorry.
No, I'm thinking C because the Old Republic Deceived is the one that sticks out in my mind. I actually remember a lot of that book, but I don't remember much of the others.
All right, we're going C, even though Pip is arguing D, which is good, but he's basing it off his character, which I agree. I think the guy is a jerk.
So, by the way, for those in the chat, if you want to make your own, this tier list is publicly available. Just go to tiermaker.com and type in Star Wars Expanded Universe authors, and you should be able to find it. You can, if you would disagree with us, you can make your very own and send it to us somehow, I guess, and prove that we're wrong.
All right, go for it. Next.
R.A. Salvatore, the man who killed Chewbacca.
Oh wait, now Holocron Keeper Evans doing this whole. Well, Matt, you're welcome to come on too. Too late, brother. Too late.
He's hurt.
You haven't done a
I got a pity invitation just then.
So I would put him in. I'd put him in A, B tier, somewhere in that range.
I'm gonna be bold and say A, because I think
Yeah.
Vector Prime is amazing. I think it's an extremely well written book, and I think the novelization that he wrote is great.
I think
I am shocked. I thought I was going to shock people when I said A, because I agree. I think Vector Prime is so pivotal.
It is.
And not only that, but like Attack of the Clones, of as great as Matthew Stover's Revenge of the Sith is, I think the best part of the entire prequel trilogy novelizations was the way he wrote Anakin's like inner monologue as he's losing his mother. I thought
Yes, and that's the one book that's the one novelization I read before the movie, and I'm so glad I did, because it was so good, and those insights were so great going into that film. I also think, by the way, Vector Prime is a work of literature. I love his writing.
I was literally, the way he would describe the Vong is just horrifying. It was great.
Well, it got me hooked. I mean, that was that was junior high for me, actually, guys, and that's when I was really starting to get into my Star Wars groove, and that book just extra hooked me.
Yeah,
I got to read the entire New Jedi Order through my high school years. It was great.
That makes me happy, because Bob's a cool guy. I've talked to him too.
he is an A. All right, next one. Michael Reeves, writer of the Jax Pavin hexology, I guess.
Yeah. The
But didn't he do MedStar too?
Yeah, that's part of the Jax Pavin, because it has like I-5 and Ben in it.
And because of that, I'll give him a B. But if anyone wants to argue C, I'm fine with that.
Really? You'd go that low?
That low?
Well, C. B. I agree
B.
with B. Yeah, I agree with B, but you said if like maybe C.
No,
like,
someone could argue me for a C, because I'm not a big fan of the Jax Pavin
he also did Shadow Games. He co-wrote
I forgot
Death Star
about that.
with
I do
Steve
like
Perry
Shadow Games. Yeah,
and,
keep him as a B.
Maul Shadowhunter.
Yeah, I like his list of books there.
Are we happy with B?
Sure, for now, yeah.
Doesn't hurt that he helped with the television series Ewoks and Droids as well. But if we're just going
wait,
novels,
did he?
That's what it says according to Wiki.
The Ewoks cartoon?
Yeah.
A. Okay.
All right.
Pimp, I do love Dritz. I do love, he's talking about Forgotten Realms, Bob Salvatore's Forgotten Realms books, which I actually I gave those away a few Christmases ago to a buddy of mine who was a big fan, and he lost his collection a long time ago, and he said, I'm just not going to get it. So I gave him mine because I figured I wasn't going to read it again. But I do love R.A. Salvatore's Forgotten Realms stuff. Okay, go ahead.
Roger McBride Allen, author of the Carillion trilogy.
B. I don't know why this is hard. I thought the Carillion trilogy was great.
B? Yeah, I'd agree
Unfortunately,
with that.
he didn't do any other contributions, and I don't know if he's on the A level. Looking at the A level authors,
I forgot. Where is Black Fleet? Is that A or B?
Black Fleet is.
I think we went B on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's.
I think
he's
B's
on par.
fair.
Yeah.
B?
B.
I think B's fair.
Final answer. This is so much fun. I hate you that this has gone over an hour, but this is so much fun. Keep going.
Sean Stewart.
Oh, S.
Really?
No, never mind. I'm thinking of Sean Williams. Wait, who am I? Wait a sec.
Sean Stewart wrote Yoda Dark Rendezvous.
Yeah, exactly. S. Yeah.
Wow.
That's Chris's favorite book.
I
He's
know
not
it is.
kidding.
He did the. Was it just the one book he did?
He did.
Yeah.
He might have done something else, but not a book. Yeah, but no. I mean, honestly, what? Like,
Chris is going to hit S. I really want to hear what people think in the chat. I love you, Chris. I would say C.
Yeah, I think that's fair. You know why? Because if we're ranking the Clone Wars stuff, it's not at that D level.
No.
Right? But it's not at the Med Star either, right? So
absolutely not. Yeah.
The other thing I'm having to think about is this is one of the few books that gives us insight into Yoda, right? So
yeah, I would arguably say B.
That's why I'm thinking B, because almost like Vector Prime did something difficult. This one did something difficult in a different way.
Yeah, I think it's good. Yeah, I mean, but I'm open, but
I could see an argument for a C or a B on that one.
All right, B or C, chat. You'll decide this.
Can you be asked with just one book? Well, if you have a favorite book from one of the 4 people on here, yes, you can be.
Chat, you're awful quiet. We need to break this tie.
I think they're a little bit behind on the live feed. I'll be honest. I know there's a delay. Go ahead, put him with. Well, what did we decide on? Do the B's have it or the C's have it?
Ironically, B for me.
Yeah, I guess we'll just put him in B.
Wow. Okay, for Chris, we'll do that.
I think it'd be interesting to rank them afterwards to see where all the Clone Wars stuff stacked up. It might change once you see the whole picture of it.
So you're putting him on the same. Okay, never mind. Go ahead. I'm not going to talk. I think Sean Stewart is a C, but I'm not going to argue.
High C, low B is where I'd put it.
Because I'm looking at the authors that we have in the B.
Yeah. I'm just considering what he did.
And I don't know if he's that caliber. But I know this is Chris's favorite book.
But but here's the thing. Right? Like, yeah, the book has some issues, and I see some chat about that. I'm talking about what he did with it, right? The story, the insight he provides into the characters, I think, is very powerful. Anyway,
Zon's at the end. The way I did this was it goes through. I was going through the list on Wikipedia, and I was saving them with the authors' like names that showed up there, so it's in like pseudo alphabetical order.
Yeah, don't worry, we'll get to Zon.
Yeah, Zon's is last, unfortunately.
Quit your whining. Let's go.
All right, this will be an interesting one. Sean Williams, co-author with Shane Dix, who is actually next on this list of the Force Heretic trilogy, also wrote the 2 Force Unleashed and Fatal Alliance, which I believe is the worst of the Tor novels by far.
Is that all Sean Williams and Shane Dix did?
Well, Shane Dix didn't write all of those. Sean Williams, we'll get to Shane Dix as he's next, but Sean Williams did the Force Heretic trilogy, the Force Unleashed 1 and 2, and Fatal Alliance.
So there's a lot of breadth there. It's fair to say, right? I mean, that's a diverse range. I like the Force Unleashed, but I could take or leave the other part of his work.
So
Me
B
too.
then?
No, I would say C. I would never put him in B.
Yeah, I think maybe C.
C's the ceiling there.
All right, he goes.
Now, does Shane Dix go in there? Sean Dix.
Shane Dix, I believe he just had the Force Heretic trilogy. Let me just check. Oh, no. He had the Force Heretic. He co-wrote the Force Heretic trilogy. He wrote Escape from Dagu, R.I.P., and he wrote the Dark Forces trilogy.
No, he didn't write Escape from Dagu.
No, you're looking.
No, that's Williams. He did.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Yeah.
I clicked the wrong one. Shane Dix.
Yeah. You get those wrong.
Yeah, he wrote the Force Heretic trilogy and Or Die Trying, which is a short story.
Please tell me you had to Google Dix to look at that.
Here in the Nightcap, we have the high level of adult humor.
Everyone's thinking it. Where'd you put
Sean
him?
Williams is a C because...
Are you putting Shane in with the C's?
Because you guys didn't like Force Heretic. You put Sean Williams up into C because of his other stuff. So since Shane Dix only did Force Heretic, is he below him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably.
D stands for Dix. Moving on.
All right. Possible A-S tier caliber. Michael Stackpole.
Wait, is Shane Dix dead? Did he die?
A few of these authors are no longer.
Huh.
Is Shane Dix dead?
Oh, no. I think Holocron Creeper, everyone was saying rip to us, Escape from Dagu.
Oh, okay. I mean,
all right, where are we putting Michael Stackpole?
Brian, S for you.
Well, that's obvious for me, but I got to think about all of his work, though. That's the thing. Because the S tier requirements is he didn't have a bad book, right?
X-Wing, I Jedi, and Dark Tide duology and New Jedi Order. He right after Vector Prime.
I think it's fair to give him an S. We're giving Alston an S.
Alston did more, had more errors though.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think, I'd say A. I'd say A, partially because it's like Stackpole just seems to sort of disappear. He got kind of grumpy and left the writing books for a while, for Star Wars.
Whereas Alston, like, not only did he pick up for his X-Wing novels, but he carried on. He was one of the few that went from the Bantam to Del Rey and kept going on, and was one of the three major writers for like what a lot of us considered to be like the main story.
Stackpole's a weird in my mind because I think he could have been one of the superstars, but again, he just kind of he kind of faded a little bit. Just I don't know.
If it were just my opinion, I were considering it would be an easy S. But I'm thinking about how people view iJedi in general. It's not a hit. Mm-hmm. It's either a big miss or a big hit.
I would say that as well.
Which kind of makes me think my favorite book is also the reason why he might not be S tier.
Well, I did say S, and if you guys are saying A, that surprises me. But I'll give him an A.
I think A just because.
This is why you need an A+ tier.
He kind of dropped off, and again, iJedi wasn't that great.
The chat's saying S.
The chat's saying S?
Yes.
Hey, I'll go with the chat on this one.
The chat's also telling me to fuck myself, so.
All right, so we have 2 on here for S. We have 2 in the chat for S, and we have 2 for A. So I think the chat, unfortunately, has outvoted us, Chris.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
I think
because Matt, what do I want to know?
Chris, so funny. Okay,
cracking up.
All right, Steve Perry, author of Shadows of the Empire, and co-wrote the MedStar duology as well as Death Star.
Matt's dying.
Yeah, well, Matt's opinion no longer matters because he can't speak.
I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Sorry. What are we talking about now? I'm sorry.
Steve Perry. Steve Perry.
He's a C. Moving on.
Really?
Yes. The thing is,
Death Star, MedStar duology, and Shadows of the Empire.
The thing is, with Shadows, it was a great. Well, no, B, I guess.
Yeah, I'm shocked to hear you say that. I'd say B at least. Yeah.
B. Yeah, B.
We'll go B.
And the thing is, with Shadows had that really awkward moment in it that just didn't belong in Star Wars. When Leia had her Me Too moment, it just didn't belong there. And that just kind of, with a book that was so highly celebrated, to have that in there was just kind of odd for me. But I'm fine. B's fine. Go ahead.
Matthew Stover.
The first of many son of words.
Wrote New Jedi Order Traitor, wrote Revenge of the Sith novelization, but also wrote Shatterpoint. And he also wrote Luke Skywalker in the Shadows of Mendor,
which I just reviewed, which is getting a lot. That review I did today is just blowing up in the comments about people who didn't like. No, people who didn't like it. They don't like the writing style of. And you know what? This is a miss, a swing and a whiff, a miss for me, because I did talk about his writing style in Shatterpoint. I decided not to go that route again. I felt that I was repeating myself when I was going to talk about his writing style, so I cut that out. And it seems like I shouldn't have, because everyone wants to talk about that writing style for Luke Skywalker and the Shadows of Mordor, which I now I regret cutting that out, because I did originally talk about that. And I was like, you know what? I already said this for Shatterpoint, that he writes odd, and I don't really like that. But I was talking about the good things I liked about the book. Matthew Stover's a hard one for me. I kind of want to put him in C, but I can see a B too.
Oh wow, that's interesting. See,
yeah, I mean, because of Revenge of the Sith, I wouldn't put him anywhere near C, but because of Shatterpoint, I wouldn't put him anywhere near A.
I'm fine with B.
That's
but people have a point. Like I said, Luke Skywalker and Sarah's Minor. I did not talk about the writing style there, which is kind of odd. But it's not as obviously I did not like Shatterpoint at all.
I think
I was more disappointed that we finally have a Mace Windu story and it wasn't that good.
If that was one of his only books, it would have been in that D Clone Wars tier. But I think, gosh, see, I've always put him near Lucino on that kind of level. I mean, in terms of breadth, as well as just like the variant quality. But I also feel like, man, Shadows of Mindor is so misunderstood. And I think his problem is I think he was too clever. He was trying to out clever the audience. I think it's supposed to be a spoofy kind of take inspired by the old Daily Neil Smith stuff.
Mm-hmm. I enjoyed it. This is another forgotten novel. And it wasn't talked about much on the forums, which is kind of weird. It kind of came and left. And so I never really got the pulse of what people thought about. And in the comments, Son of Luke's a big Stover fan, he's saying. In the comments, you don't even Son of Luke, you don't have to watch my video. Holocron Keeper Evan obviously doesn't because he don't want me on his stream. But if you go and read the comments, you don't look at my review, but read the comments. Because I talk good about the book. But in the comments, people just criticize his writing style on this, which I see their point. But at the same time, I'm with Chris on this. It didn't bother me as much as Shatterpoint did, but they do have a point.
I think you all are sleeping on New Jedi Order Traitor.
Exactly what I'm thinking.
Just for because what that did for Jason as a character and how it set up literally everything that happened after New Jedi Order.
I'm fine with B.
Plus, it has one of the most memorable moments in all of the Star Wars expanded
universe. I said I was fine with B. Are y'all arguing in A? Is that what you're trying to do?
I'm just saying. Again, I don't think it's
because of those two.
Compared to that,
I don't. Yeah.
All right, B.
I don't know. I'm still shocked that the author of Revenge of the Sith is not an A, but whatever.
I think Shatterpoint.
I think Revenge of the Sith is one of his most brilliant books ever.
I think Revenge of the Sith and Traitor bring him up here, and Shatterpoint brings him down here.
So it's just a mathematical sort of thing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think Pip and I actually agree. Right. Stover's good. That book is good. So that's
all right. Terry Brooks.
F yourself right now.
Yeah. That's right. Not this time. Give me a minute. I'll say something worthy of.
By the way, Dylan, this was a much better idea than I thought it would be. So thank you.
I know, because it's all this discussion.
I'm loving the chat.
All right, Terry Brooks, author of The Phantom Menace, and that's it.
I hate to say it, but looking at who we have in the C's, I have to put him in the D's. I don't think he belongs in the D's because I don't think he belongs in the D's because of the other stuff he's written outside of Star Wars. Unfortunately, if all we have is the Phantom Menace, what do you guys think?
The Phantom Menace it's definitely the weakest of the three prequel books, in my opinion, but that doesn't mean it's bad.
It's not bad.
It's not, because D is like, you had one book and it was forgettable.
It is very, like I said, there's some history of the Sith in there, and he writes the deleted scenes, and he almost follows the old formula of how, media tie-in novels were written. He's basically following and shame on him. He's a much better author than that. So that's why I'm saying D. Because Bob Salvatore didn't do that for his book. and neither did, obviously Matthew Stover didn't. But I think Terry Brooks he hadn't yet broken the mold. I mean, seriously, besides the little short, brief history of the Sith that he got from George Lucas, is there anything else that he contributed to that novel outside of the scope of deleted scenes? No.
So you don't think he was adventurous enough with the novelization?
So you're saying
because we put the other now? Am I saying that Empire and Jedi is on the same level as Phantom Menace? No.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because it's like,
but the thing is, though, I don't think he's C status. But that's me. Thankfully, there's other people who can voice their opinion on this. If people are agreeing with Dylan, well, Son of Luke, you're not on this. So I don't care what you think about Dylan.
I mean, so
Chris,
if we
what
put
do
him
you
in
think?
C, he would be below R.A. Salvatore and Matthew Stover, who wrote the other two, but he'd be above the original trilogy.
I think that's reasonable. Matt, I've never thought about it that way. I think that I appreciate the book because of what it does to fill in the gaps from the film and the prequels. And yet you're right. Like, it's Terry Brooks. Like, it should be.
Terry Brooks should have knocked that out. He should have wowed us with that. I was so excited to hear Terry Brooks was writing it.
Yeah.
And then to find out that it's just a.
But are we judging him more for his actual work within Star Wars, or
that's
are we
the thing?
I'm
judging him on his work on. No, I'm judging him for his work on Star Wars
compared to his work outside of Star Wars.
Yeah,
right?
he's a fantastic
because he's
author.
capable of more.
Oh, he is. He's one of the masters of world building, for crying out loud. But yet you can't get more. You just. It seems like he just melded in. It's not bad. Phantom Menace isn't bad compared to the
you would put him
original. That based on Phantom Menace, the novel. But if you guys want to put him in C, I'm not gonna argue.
I think. Well, who else do we have in D? I mean, it's all Clone Wars, right?
Well, no. What I'm basing this off of, Brian, is we have Empire, the author of Empire, and the author of Jedi, Return of the Jedi, in D status because they didn't do anything outside the scope of the film and deleted scenes. Fair. And Terry Brooks, though I love the man, didn't do that either. He didn't do anything special either. Whereas Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith did better. Salvatore added a little bit more. What he added was more from the Padme deleted scene, but he even did more than the deleted scene. He went into more context in a few more areas.
Terry Brooks did have the scene with the wounded Tusken Raider. That wasn't a deleted scene.
Yeah, Brooks is. I mean, but I think to your point, Matt, like he did more than the original trilogy novelization.
Okay. Yeah, put him C. Put him C. That's fine.
I'd say low C, high D is where I'd put him. So I'm fine with
that's fine.
C.
Well, after that debate, I'm just going to put Tim Levin in F tier. Is everyone okay with that?
Do it. Move on. Yeah. Do it. Move on. I don't even want to talk. I'm ashamed you mentioned his name on my channel. Move.
All right. Possible S tier, Troy Denning.
Yeah, I think he is.
Yes.
I don't know if I can give him an S because he hasn't killed off.
He's killed off 2 of the 3.
He didn't kill them all off, so is he really S tier? But no, I'm just going.
I feel bad that Troy Denning was like right next to Tim Levin.
Okay, great. I'm glad we got Troy up there. Moving on. I'm glad we're rolling here. Keep going.
Vonda and McIntyre. We have 5 left.
Oh boy.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
Oh boy. It's funny. A couple months ago, Matt, remember I kind of stuck up for Crystal Star a little bit.
Yeah.
And I kind of like, look, let's not be. And I reread it, and I'm like, okay, I get it. I still don't think it's a horrible thing, but it is pretty badly written.
I would not put it above B. I think C would be generous.
Whoa, C is super generous.
I'd say D.
I thought D was generous. Okay.
Let's go D.
Yeah, I can agree with you.
Y'all are very kind. Y'all are very kind.
The worst, but
a lot of fans disagree with you. And when we get, I can't wait to review this because I met a Vonda and McIntyre fan who explained to me why Crystal Star is written the way it is. And I can see their point, but it still doesn't make Crystal Star any better.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, it's like if it's for a Star Trek list, I'd put her much higher, but yeah.
That's exactly the thing. And see, she and A.C. Crispin came from the same cloth, except A.C. Crispin adapted better. Totally. And I have a theory because she leaned on Kevin J. Anderson a lot when writing the Han Solo trilogy. She was checking with him on stuff because he wrote Star Wars. Vonda and McIntyre just did her own thing. And I think that was the difference.
Yeah.
All right. So this should.
Hawkeye Keeper Evan, what the WTF is wrong with you people? I don't know. You won't have me on your stream, so that's what's wrong with you. Keep going. Next.
All right. I think this is another easy one. Veronica Whitney Robinson, author of Galaxies.
No, No, Ruins of Tatooine.
Yeah.
I mean, this is tough because
it's sad because I'm going to give her a D because she looks good.
she goes in the Kristen Catherine Rush category. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now hold on now, my Catherine. But that is such a forgettable book, and it is such a generic ripoff of it was a bad choice to put that. I mean, everything just came together awkward. The cover is lazy. The book is a little bit lazy. But the thing is, though, you're writing off of a video game that's a World of Warcraft Star Wars ripoff. So, I mean, the whole thing is just kind of odd.
It's pretty good writing for World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
This will be an interesting one.
Right.
Walter John Williams, author of Destiny's Way and the Elysia short story, was included in the novel.
Right.
I since we have Terry Brooks, Sean Williams, and Greg Keyes in there, I'd put Walter John Williams in the C status.
C status, really?
Well, we have Craig Keyes, Terry Brooks, and Sean Williams there. Paul S. Kemp, you think he's D? I'm fine with D.
No, I'm thinking. I definitely not D, because Destiny's Way. It's one of the hardcovers, and it was kind of the turning point of New Jedi Order, like when the at that point Galactic Alliance like started getting and taking back ground. It had a.
Are you saying he should be ranked higher?
Maybe, but I don't know that like one outing is enough to get him in B tier.
That's the thing.
Rob is saying S, but I don't think he's got enough to be.
No, he's nowhere in S. He's nowhere in A. You could argue a B, and I'd be fine with that. But I see C. But I'm fine with the B if y'all decide that. Chris, what do you think?
No, I'd say middle tier. I'd say precisely because of how little he's got. I mean,
so C.
That's kind of where I'm at too. I didn't read the short story.
It's a technicality.
Pip and Son of Luke agree with me. They haven't told me to F myself yet, so it's doing all right. Holocran Keeper Evan essentially did that when he invited everyone but me on the stream. So,
all right, the guy I got confused with earlier, William C. Ditz, author of the Dark Forces trilogy,
not to be confused with Dix.
And
speaking of Dix, where's Windig on this? Oh, never mind.
He's not. He didn't write for
Go ahead. If you don't know, he's a friend of Shane Dix.
Yeah. So. Anyway, William C. Ditz authored the Dark Forces trilogy. Where do we put him?
Here's the thing. Conquer Tarn, it's got to be a C, I think. Conquer Tarn's lovely. The books could be better. They're very video game-esque. But Bill is a really good guy. I would love to see Escape from Dagu.
Yeah.
It's sad that book never came out.
What's the title of the list? What's the overall theme of the list? Are we just ranking the authors for what they've done or how they contributed? That's what I'm trying to weigh in.
This is specifically because I don't have everyone. I want to do it eventually where I have like all the comic authors, all of like the source book authors, the video game people, and then it would be like their entire contributions. But since this is just the novels, it would be unfair for the people who have other stuff to rank them based on their other stuff. So this is just on their novels.
We'll come back and do this for comic book authors. It'd be a lot shorter.
But does he really count? I mean, if we're being are those really books in your guys' views? I've never really considered them.
Ooh.
They're tight. I mean,
yes, they are because they do have pictures, but it's written.
But
it's
hardback.
They're not quite short stories either. They're definitely in between.
Right?
I wouldn't even say they're in between. They just got splashed cover art. I mean, in between some of the pages, but there's no. It's not as visual. I mean, you look at what is it? There are certain other books like Wizard of Oz, even Chronicles of Narnia that have little pictures with the chapters. So I've kind of put it with that.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. It's just, it's not. Yeah,
I'll go see. That's fine.
All right. So we're done. All right.
No,
well, thanks, Dylan. No, I'm kidding. I was going to make the chat room. I was just going to end the broadcast right there, right before we talk about Zahn.
Well, yeah, we still got to put Zahn in F tier where he belongs, right?
That's great.
Clearly.
Okay, folks, have a great night. This has been so much fun. Thank you. Dylan, before we went live, I would have gone with that and just cut the feed by that. If you'd have told me that was what we were going to do, I'd be fine with that. Just leave them steaming.
Seriously.
Holocran Keeper Evan uninvites Dylan and Chris.
Somehow I survived.
All right, but seriously, where are we? Hold on. Let me get him out of the filth of F.
No. Keep him in F for right now. So where do we put him? He's not going in F, folks. Come on.
No
yeah.
But I over the years have really started to, he's really started to fall in my estimation. Whereas Troy Denning, I think, has become, to my mind, the guy we used to think of when we thought of Zahn, the guy up on the pedestal. And I have to say Zahn is, I'd be happy with A or something, but like not.
Yeah, I would say too. Zahn is, I think, a little bit overrated within the expanded.
He is an A because, and people forget he had just a string of just meh. Not choices of one.
Allegiance.
Looking at right now.
Allegiance.
They even call it the other novels on his page.
Outbound Flight wasn't that bad, I thought.
No, not that bad. But the Bantam novels is where he shined. And then when you switch over to Del Rey, it's like he just downshifted gears and kind of faded into obscurity.
He just wanted to write for. He was writing as if there was a Z canon in the hierarchy. He was playing in his own little.
He wanted to stay in his own little sandbox. There were way too many authors then, and he's like, no. And he took his toys and he walked into the crappy little sandbox that no one wants to play in anymore because there's a better one out there. But he wanted to go back to the one filled with weeds.
Yeah.
So he could play by himself.
I just think over the years it's weird. I don't know. And by the way, honestly, I don't even think the Zahn. Again, this is another comment that'll get people.
I think you've said this before.
I've said this before. I know exactly what you're about to say, and I've said it before. Go ahead.
Yeah, the Zahn trilogy is it hits all the nostalgic beats. It's got the feel, but frankly, it's not a good story. There's B storylines that go nowhere. Some of the characters are one-dimensional. I actually don't think it's a great story. So I don't think it holds up.
It was good enough for the time.
Yeah.
And there's nothing. So we're not like, the reason he is an A tier is because you can't understate how he single-handedly saved the franchise.
Basically.
Okay.
But when compared with everything that we've gotten since, I listen to it a lot because I listen to the audiobook of it a lot because usually that's what I show people when I get into the EU, and they always think it's great. But the more I'm like, now that I've actually take the time to reread the Thrawn trilogy after you've read other expanded universe, especially newer expanded universe, it's really dated.
It's a weird experience. It really is. It'd been years since I'd reread it, and that's a tough thing to do. But again, it still holds up nostalgically.
Right.
And you're right. It's got this important place. I feel like it's the case of like, if he had stopped writing after, Name the Book, I think he would have had like kind of.
If he had stopped writing when Bantam, when Del Rey got the rights back.
Yeah, then I think you would have looked back on this and you would have been like, wow, what an important sort of like moment in time that he captured, right? But now it's kind of like he kind of started muddying the waters. And again, I challenge anyone, go back and read that if you haven't read it in years. It doesn't really hold up in certain ways,
From go F yourself to preach Christopher preach.
This is great.
We've done a complete 180.
The reviews run the spectrum,
So he's A tier because of of his Bantam works, but he's not S tier because of what he's done since.
I'd say breadth and
A.
Importance.
I think A. I'm glad I don't have to fight you guys.
Timothy Zahn actually. Timothy Zahn was the reason I added that stipulation of the difference between S and A tier, by the way.
Holocron Keeper Evan says you're all invited back on his channel except for me. So, yeah.
But yeah,
that was fun, Dylan.
Yeah, if you want to, again, this list is publicly available. Just go to Tier Maker, Star Wars Spaniverse authors. You can make your own. I guess should we do just the next one like just comics?
Yes. I agree.
And that one's going to be the one where I have to sit out because I have not done many of the comics.
This is super fun. And actually, I want to do the tier thing with the covers. The book cover.
That'd
be fun.
That would be great. Just go one by one.
We'll have to set that one up for like 4 hours.
Yeah, it takes a while to set up because this one, because I said this at the beginning, but I don't know if everyone was here. So I had to set this up manually. Like I have a folder that's all the authors, and then because it just shows the image, and I wasn't confident on people would be able to recognize the authors' faces, I had to go into MS Paint and put their names
on there,
so people would know.
Wondered.
This is a lot of fun. Thank you. It was Dylan told me the idea tonight, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. Hologram Keeper Evans trying to brown nose now, but anyway, hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is actually a little bit more better than I thought it would be. I thought it'd be just me and Dylan just sitting around goofing off ranking these, but Brian, Chris, I really appreciate y'all coming on and giving me your insight.
Yeah,
no worries. Always fun.
Holocron Keeper Evan wants to come on for the comic books. Oh, on whose channel? And now he's trying to invite himself onto my channel. What's this going on? This is a complete 180. Heck, I may have Pip on here.
Hey, son of Luke, I think you should honestly just do a video where you do your own tier maker, because that would be great. I'd love to see what you think.
Oh, to be honest, yeah, other people could do this, and I'd be interested in seeing what they would think.
It'd be fun. Love that. Maybe I'll just start sending it around on Twitter for everybody to vote their own.
Yeah, I was actually, my first idea was to put this up on Twin Sons, but I'm like, let's do a Nightcap first just to get some exposure to it. And we'll send it out.
We'll come back and do it again for the comic book authors, because you're right.
Comic book, and then we'll just do the mega one of everyone, and it's just like everything they've contributed. And that'll be a fun one.
Yeah.
That'll be like an 8-hour podcast.
Pip, you get the invite if you could tell Chris to go F himself at the beginning of the post.
That was great. I love it.
I did the thing I love about that, and this has been my favorite comments section in a while, because I just love how everyone is just passionate about this. They're talking about this, and we each have our favorite authors, and we each have books that we love more than other ones, and things that we don't. And the good thing about Disney buying Lucasfilm and them washing out the canon is that now we don't complain too much about. We used to fight over this in the forums, by the way, and it seems so childish. And now we don't. We can all appreciate people's different opinions on these books, because we now realize, hey, we just love this. We all agree we love the expanded universe to varying degrees. We like the individual stories, but we're fine with that. That used to be the only thing we used to argue about. Oh, the glory days when that was our only problem.
Yes,
was
me defending Kevin J. Anderson.
And the great ship wars of Legacy of the Force.
And it's funny to take what I was saying about like the Thrawn trilogy. I think the last couple of years, people have unfortunately I think some in the fandom have been too defensive of the EU, and so everything's perfect. And I think what people have forgotten to do is to go back and actually read the stuff that we're like.
Right.
But take the time to do it, and you realize, no, it's okay to dislike it. And these types of conversations are so much fun. I wish there was more open dissent, because this is what's interesting,
You're just asking for a book by book analysis.
Exactly, Rob.
This is what's interesting. It's shocking it came from Dylan.
Well, we keep them around in Twin Sons for a reason.
And with that jab, I'm going to cut it off now. So, hey guys, good night. Thanks for joining us. This is a lot of fun. We'll come back and do it for comic books.